Welcome back, everybody. Time to take a look at another beer. I'm going to take a look at one today from Samuel Adams. This is their Octoberfest. Here it is late August, and they started to push for a lot of the Octoberfest and pumpkin type beers, and I was trying to wait before getting some of these, but ended up picking up this one as part of a make your own six pack. So figured, what the hell, might as well get it out of the way. This one actually has a best by date of January of 2016, so we're actually in pretty good shape on this, and this will be pretty fresh. So this is their lager, comes in at 5.3% ABV, considered to be hearty and smooth with a deep malt complexity and roasty sweetness, as they state there on the label. So let's go ahead and get this open and get it into the glass. Here we have the bottle cap as well, which are specially, I guess, coded for this one as Samuel Adams Octoberfest. Trying to get it to focus, but not really going in as much as I would like. So I'm going to actually use a Sam Adams glass here.
Hey, how you doing?
So there we go. Pours out a nice, I'm going to say reddish orange color. A little bit like a just after sunset glow. Comes out with a 2-finger, just off-white head. Head looks to have a little bit of creaminess to it. As far as some of the carbonation, have some pretty good carbonation action taking place. See if you can see some of that bubble action. Does seem to be a little bit lively. So looks like a pretty good beer. As far as anything else, great clarity. There's no murkiness, no cloudiness. You can see right through the beer. So with a lot of these Samuel Adams, that's usually the case versus some of the other craft brewers out there. And as we know, Samuel Adams kind of is more into that crafty brewer area now with all the stuff they kind of make. But you know, they do specialize in some beers with over 60 different things they do. So they're kind of in between that macro and craft beer in my mind. But yeah, really pretty beer. So let's go ahead and see if I can get an aroma off of this one.
And what the hell is that smell?
On the aroma, I am getting some of the notes of caramel. Getting a deep malt smell. Pretty much a good moderate malt aroma. A little bit of sweetness in there. Getting a hint of that roastiness as mentioned. Although it's more like a toastiness in my mind. Definitely getting that kind of that heartiness roast that you would kind of feel for a beer going into the fall. But definitely does tend to match up to what be expected. See if there's anything else to maybe note on here. You know, they mentioned the notes of caramel, but nothing really else jumping out. So on the aroma, I say we kind of have all that other stuff that I just mentioned. Now, one thing on the aroma is a little more faint than some of the other craft beers that I usually drink. So you do have to take a pretty good whiff. So I think that goes along with when you start getting into more of the mass-producing type beers. They kind of lose something, I think, along those lines. But let's go ahead and get a taste.
I do want to know what it tastes like.
Okay, on the taste, first thing that hits me is that it does have a good amount of wateriness to it. It's kind of almost a watered down type beer. Carbonation actually is soft when you are drinking it. As far as the body itself, It comes in, I think I mentioned, at 5.3 ABV, but the body of it is kind of a more of a light body in my mind, and when I'm tasting, it doesn't have much to it. It's one of those beers that you can easily probably chug if you wanted to. Not really getting anything standing out within that flavor. You know, you can kind of smell some of the notes of the caramel with the aroma, but when it comes to tasting it, not getting any of that really coming through too much on the beer itself. Overall, it kind of leaves in the taste a little bit more to be desired.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, it's not too much there on the taste. So, as far as looking at this beer overall, I think this is one of those ones that, you know, they put it out. It doesn't really show the high quality that Samuel Adams still can produce. I think it's more of a made for the masses type beer. It's almost like when you go to a restaurant, a lot of times the food may be more bland because they're trying to approach it for a mass appeal rather than to make it for the taste that may be preferred by just a select number of individuals. So I think you lose something of that, and I think that also put with like some of the wateriness of it doesn't really give a lot to this beer. Do get some of the lacing as far as the appearance we can see there on the glass, but outside of that, I mean, you have a great appearance. The look is solid, but once you get into the taste, it really leaves something behind. This one, to rate it out, I'm going to look at this one being rated pretty much as about, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. I think it's okay. It's not one that I would probably look to try again. It's kind of like taste it, see what it's like, and then move on. Not one that I would kind of recommend, especially for anybody that does enjoy some of the craft beers. I think there's other Octoberfests that are out there that are better, especially done by some of the craft brewers. But it is what it is, so I'll go ahead and I'll finish this beer here. But I think you may be more suited to trying some of the other ones before coming over to Samuel Adams, which again, I think it might be more hurt by having that macro type appeal. So if you've had this one before, let me know. Put some notes in the comment section. This is the Samuel Adams Octoberfest. We'd love to hear any feedback you may have on this beer. And outside of that, I'm going to go ahead and finish this one out. Appreciate you swinging by for another video, and hope to catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Does this guy know how to party or what?